Pleased to be here. I'm so sorry about the delay. Today I thought that we could talk about just basic sales 101 topics, just kind of reboot a little bit on that, and talk about like how to really get qualified buyers and set up your events. So I have a PowerPoint here that I'm going to start to switch my screen. So. Okay.
It's very effective. It's a great machine. It's just, it's very large.
Okay. So, for those of you who don't know what we're doing here, I see a couple new faces, but my name is Annabelle Kim. I'm the Director of Sales with Green Air. And what we do is we create these wonderful partnerships with your doTERRA leaders and organize with them to help train you on how to learn how to incentivize your businesses, capture enrollments, capture new hosts, but most importantly, to gain OV and retention. So the reason why we use diffusers is really quite simple. There's a couple of things. When people first start oiling, they're usually really confused. There's a lot to learn. And so, you know, they tend to leave a class just overwhelmed with information. The first 90 days is what we help you focus on, and then of course thereafter. But in the first 90 days, people tend to give up. Our model is that we learn through a friend or an acquaintance to come with us to a class. And, you know, so oftentimes they're not really engaged in getting on a wellness kick. So maybe they buy a kit to support somebody. But the point is that it's a tough model. It is a tough model. It's up to us to keep them enthused as leaders and to keep them oiling. Diffusers help them do that because when you leave a class, you learn about layering, about dilution rates, about what's not safe for your kids and things like that. And so that creates a block for a lot of people. With diffusers, it's immediately pleasing. You just dump everything in a diffuser and off you go. Starting with such a great way to get the oils into your bloodstream. So, you know, I'm going to start out here just like setting up a class, like how to get that going. But of course, like you want to attract new hosts. We have a ton of graphics for you guys, which I'm going to go a little bit through that later, but to help you do that. So the great thing about pairing with us is that we make diffusers for everybody, Young Living, doTERRA, Now brands, or Acacia, so many different oil companies. So you've gotten direct to the manufacturer. And because you're attached to your wonderful leaders, you're able to get our diffusers at true direct from the manufacturer wholesale pricing. So as an example, a $90 diffuser, we have one right now called the Dewdrop. That is sold on Young Living's website for $93. You can find it in our catalog with these partnerships that we create for just $30. So if you think about that for a second, that's a pretty incredible price difference when you're going direct to the manufacturer. So likewise with things like hostess gifts, you know, you have to attract new hosts to get a class going. So, you know, this hostess gift right here is $25. That looks every bit of $100 or more, and it's gorgeous. And we've got these graphics ready to go for you. So you can post these on Facebook. All of our graphics are made when you're trying to do these for ads, to have the Facebook rules in place and Instagram shapes in place so that they're all ready to go. So host a class with me. If you ever wanted to boost a post, for example, which means to pay for the ad to reach a larger audience, you can do that. There's certain things that you have to do in order to do that. On Facebook, the text cannot be larger than 20%. And so everything is figured out that way for you. So here's my class invite. It is probably not completely compliant. I'll let the compliant police chime in here. But I do not use, this is just what I do to get my classes going. For me, the key things are making sure that it's visually appealing and that it's clear. So for me, the things that I like to focus on, I was a biology major, my dad was a doctor, lots of medical people in my family. So for me, when I first got into this, my best friend really kind of guilted me into getting a kit. And so I bought a kit from her to support her. So I truly believed that I was buying snake oils and I was just kind of appeasing her to get a kit. The things that I would have wanted to know, and this is why I made my invite this way, was that what is this? What is this all about? You know, why would I want to come? You know, like, what are essential oils? Is this legitimate? So you can see here, I have this sectioned off. Here's what's going to be happening. Here's the date. I know we shouldn't use medicine cabinet makeover anymore, so take that out. So don't use that as an example. But anyways, and I talk about what we're going to be going over. Overview of essential oils, natural alternatives to common synthetic medications, healthcare applications of pure therapeutic grade oils. So then I say, which is the part that you learn about incentivizing, receive free samples and a chance to win an EO starter packet of a Green Air essential oil diffuser, oil, and literature valued at $75. I have not paid $75. It's just the value of that. Again, the value would be a $25 diffuser. The oils that you're getting would be, I like to arm up with Class in a Box from doTERRA. So that comes with 10 5 ml bottles of wild orange, in addition to the Living magazine and some awesome literature. And then, you know, I also say here, RSVP by this date to receive a complimentary event package. And I always ask them to do it with their top 3 health concerns. The reason I do that is because I want to know who my audience is. That's really important. You need to prepare to come to be of service to them. So you need to know what it is that their need is. So when you find that you get a lot of RSVPs saying that I have digestive issues, you know, you really know that you need to kind of make sure you read up on that area or hit those points really well. So this just helps you, again, prepare for that, especially in the point where you're talking about usages. You know, we go through and we pass around the bottles of oils at a class. This is a great time to say, Marcy, one of your health concerns was, you know, sleep. You know, it makes them feel like you thought about it, that you're more engaged in them. You know, the model, once again, is, you know, unless you're doing your launch, oftentimes you are drawing upon other people's networks. So it's a great way to quickly build a relationship and a rapport with them to say, hey, I listened to you, I care about you. It gets them engaged in that moment, and it gets them, you know, interacting more during the class, which is what you want. You want that. That's going to help you close your sales. So, okay, so then in this section, I've defined what all this is. And then I like to know, like, again, is this legitimate? So here's sources here for me. I would suggest not everyone needs to do this. If this isn't your thing, don't do my thing, you know, but find something that is authentically yours. Like I, you know, you can take out Power of Plants area.
So Annabelle, can I interrupt really quick? All of that Power of Plant stuff is non-compliant.
Yeah, I know. So like, I don't.
So that's what I was just saying. So we can't actually do any of that.
Yeah. So anyhow, I don't, again, like I'm aware of that. I did not put anything doTERRA specific in mine. You know, this is a hand-to-hand. This doesn't go online somewhere. So.
Right. But if you're having doTERRA at your class, we can't have any of those things on the invite.
Okay. So again, you can take all this out here. This is just mine, but really what the point that I'm trying to make here is right here in this box. So this top box here is what you need to hit. So, you know, just to make sure that they know what they're coming to, really. Like overall, they need to know what they're coming to. You don't want to present it as coming to a party. You know, you want to present it as an opportunity to, you know, change their life with health concerns and things like that, and to get them engaged ahead of time. So here I'm just showing you some bits and pieces from our graphics library. A great thing to do is when you give out that hostess gift, you want to have that pumping in the highest traffic area of your class. So the reason for that is that these hostess gifts, which is anything that's really not plastic, generally speaking, these are made specifically for your events. So what I mean by that is that the fans are actually calibrated at a higher speed so that it's designed to have mist, you know, very visual erupting out the top. So a nice thing to do is to put these are retail flyers. It shows the retail price, not what you pay for it. And you display it next to that hostess gift. The reason for that is, number one, people like to just read about things. I know I do. I don't like being accosted by someone to say buy something. I just like to take it in on my own, read about the specs. So this helps with that. I'm not asking you to be Green Air salespeople, but it makes no sense not to offer these for sale at your classes because people always want them. So the great thing is you're buying this month for $25. The price that you sell it for would be $60. That's such a hefty profit margin. And it happens at every class. You're going to be selling that if you choose to do that, and you make a $35 profit right away. That's pretty amazing. So the next thing that I do is right when people sit down in the living room, right before you're ready to start your class, I hand out these. And I hand out these with pens. And, you know, maybe they didn't fill out the top 3 health concerns. Maybe they brought a friend to a class, whatever. But the whole point is to capture their information. So giveaways are fun, but of course you always want to think about, why are you doing this? Like, what investment does this give you in your business? In this case, giveaways generally are either giving you a following, but in class, they are giving you information, key information that's important, especially when your downline is just starting out. Their closing skills aren't that strong yet. So until you're at 100%, you want to be capturing this type of information so that when you reapproach them, if you don't get a kit purchased the day of your class, you are able to rearm yourself with some important information for a strategy. So name, phone number, top 3 health concerns, and are you interested in hosting a class? You get a lot of bookings this way. On the other side, I have this. Book a class today and earn this diffuser. So these graphics are all ready to go for you, which is really great. And so some people ask me, do I put a limit on 10 or more, 5 or more people, whatever? I don't. That's your personal choice. I don't, because, you know, these diffusers are so inexpensive that I just call that a cost of business. You know, and as I'm sure many of you have already done one-on-ones, that's going to be, you know, they're powerful even when you have like 3 people at your class. But that's up to you. So these are great ways to book that class. What I do suggest is if you're doing this at your classes and handing these out, make sure you come with your calendar. So it's a lot easier if you book that class and you put, you know, the stipulation within the next 30, 60 days, whatever, but put it on the calendar. Make that accountable there. So when you're doing your part on how to use these oils, it's a really good idea to demo with the diffuser. The reason being is that, again, it's all very overwhelming to them to start. And so when they can see how easy it is to diffuse, and they get right away how wonderful it smells, it just, again, puts them in that buying mode easier. So I always suggest doing the live demo at the class during the part of that aromatic feature. So same thing likewise, you know, I'm using the Spa Vapor Pro in this instance because it's just an example. It's one of the diffusers we give to you guys for 60% off. It's always a good idea to display these retail flyers because people want to know what they're getting for free. It has become a world where they access more value and, ooh, what can I get for free? But, you know, at the class, it's always about a sense of urgency, you know, and what they're getting. So here we have some kit flyers. These are great. And what these are is that these are your doTERRA kits from Family Physician all the way to the Natural Solutions kit. So this is when you're going to give this away as a free incentive to enroll. So what I mean, when you do that, the power of having a tangible product the day of their enrollment is enormous. There's a lot of people who impulse shop and they just need something tangible to pull the trigger. This is a great way to do that. Take it a step further. This is, trust me on this, you guys. It's so much easier to say today only with enrollment with one of these qualifying kits. When you sign up with LRP, you go home with this diffuser, once again, Wild Orange, Living Magazine. You want to set up your LRP in one step. It's so much more simple. And the power of having that tangible product right then and there is always the way to go. So after that, after you've signed them up, especially in a class environment, you didn't have time to go over all their health concerns. You didn't really have the time to do a proper wellness consult. So 1 to 2 weeks after they've received their kit, this is when you want to set up their wellness consult. This is the easiest time for you to set up the next diffuser incentive. Why? Because they're tired of carrying that Spa Vapor Pro down from the bedroom to the living room to the office to Johnny's room, what have you. So they're really primed for the next diffuser because that's what they're comfortable with. And remember, like the diffusing, you want tons of diffusers in the house. So if they ended up going with the Natural Solutions kit, that's awesome. You know, now they have a bedroom diffuser, a living room diffuser, and they'll have the office diffuser. More diffusers are going to create more OV. The average household that is diffusing will have 5 diffusers going: office, car, bedrooms, living room. When that happens, you've got 50 drops of oil, which is very average, going in diffusers per day. So if you multiply that over a 30-day period, that becomes 1,500 drops of oil, guys. So if you divide that, hope you see where I'm going with that, but if you divide that by 250, which is how many drops of oil are in a 15 ml bottle, that becomes 6 bottles of oil. So you do the math from there. It gets you over 100 PV just in diffusing. That's what we want. The great thing about our oils is that they really work. But if someone starts out saying that they had some pain and now their pain is gone, you know, you need to instill ways that this is a lifestyle for them. They need to be protecting their home, for example, with On Guard. They need to be cleansing the air with Purify. And so diffusing helps you with that model to keep them going. So anyhow, a week or 2 after they've enrolled, they've been diffusing, they love it. They've looked through the doTERRA catalog by now. They see that the Aroma Light's $90 and they're like, oh. So this is a really easy time to hop on that next incentive. So place a 100 PV order for 2 consecutive months to earn this next diffuser. So here I have shown with the Breezy, but we have them for every single product that we have. But this is just the best and easiest time to get this next incentive done. So basically the idea is, once again, is that 90-day period. You want them ordering 3 times on LRP. Once they've done that, they are in a habit. So that gets you retention. So, you know, basically, like, to round this out, you know, it's all about incentives here. You know, so incentives really work. I've said this before on earlier calls, but, you know, for those of you who haven't heard it, all of our OVs go up during doTERRA's awesome Deep Blue promos and Frankincense month. You know, it's up to you to always understand, like, what works. Incentives work. They always work. So it may be that you're enticing people to enroll with you or to host with you or to entice your downline to be the biggest enroller that month. Create incentives for your downline. You know, people need to work towards that. They're lost. You need to create that structure for them. The great thing about working with Green Air, we are the largest and we're the best. We have to use the best materials available on the market. So that means that we're using only medical grade. Everything is BPA free. You know, those are really powerful things. But the best thing about us is that we give you and you only a 1-year warranty on every product that you get from us. That's amazing. So we have considered this a true partnership with each and every one of you wellness advocates. So just like doTERRA, doTERRA has stellar customer service. We extend the same thing to you so that, you know, you don't have to deal with it. So if one of doTERRA's bottles comes from UPS smashed, what do we tell our downline? We tell them to call customer service and they've got it covered. And so we're confident with that. We do the same thing for you. We put the 1-800 number on the bottom of every diffuser, so it's no mystery in terms of how to get in touch. And then your customer directly contacts us and simply gives your name as the wholesale purchaser, and they're covered for a year. That's pretty amazing. The tools that we provide you are so affordable. They're realistic price points to use as tools in your business. So from $5 to $40, that's our cost. That's pretty sensational. $5 a diffuser to $40 a diffuser. We have our hand on every technology in the market. Paul Prince, the president, has many of the patents in the industry. So, you're getting the cutting edge stuff at the max price of $40. That's the reality of coming direct to manufacturer to get these sensational prices. So, and then, lastly, it really is the perfect marriage. I would love to take credit for this model. I can't. There are several doTERRA leaders. I work with so many amazing heavy hitters, presidential diamonds that all understand this model. Diffusing, people get addicted to diffusing. It's really quite simple. The more diffusers going in a household, the more your OV will naturally pop up. The more that your business becomes more easily sustainable because it becomes a lifestyle in their home on a day-to-day basis. So that's this little PowerPoint here. We have so many graphics that we're really proud of that we have made up for you guys. And, in that, you guys have these at your access to use. And there's these different categories like lifestyle images that just simply show like magazine ads of how you might want to advertise. You might be a retailer, or you might want to just simply pop this up on your Facebook personal page if you haven't started your business page yet. And then we also have doTERRA specific things. So we have doTERRA specific kit prices with every single diffuser. So we have these ready to go for you. We also have, different images that you can use to do the online model. We'll talk about that more. I think some of you have caught our social media segments, but this here is for social media. If you're doing that, you want to enroll online, those are ready to go. We have the LRP things. We have things, let's say that you just like doing, you're an athlete, and that's what you like to push. Well, if you've got that group, you can send them a single sheet on the athlete's kit. So these graphics are really here to support you. We do this with no other company other than doTERRA, and we work with all of them. So we truly love you. We're most invested in you. And so, of course, we have the LRP graphics, which I was showing you, place 100 PV order for 2 consecutive months diffuser. We likewise have it if you want to just do it with, maybe you're trying to revive people that died somewhere on LRP. So you can do a push email on your own and create your own graphics around this. We talked about that last time in Canva, Rana. Those are really easy ones where you can add layers to these graphics where it doesn't create a stipulation. If people have died on LRP, on a side note, a really effective way to get them back is doing a diffuser incentive. But what I like to do, because those people that have died, usually they have to make the effort to call customer service and cancel LRP. So they're really reluctant to get back on it. So what I would say is don't make it a 2-month, just make it a 1-month 200 PV requirement so that they get enough stock back in their home so that they start using again. My suggestion if you do it with a 200 PV order is choose a bigger diffuser, like a 360 or an Infinity, because it requires more drops of oil. You want them using those oils more and fast to keep ordering, obviously. And we have our retail flyers. I showed you that. So those are just, the things that have the retail cost, not what you pay for it, but the retail cost of all of our items. And then we have the host a class with me. I love these. These are so great people to come and do a class with you. You'd be very surprised how many people come out of the woodwork from these soft posts. And then we have, just a variety of different things that kind of support all of that. So every month, for those of you who are new, we have team specials that are just exclusively available to our diamonds and their downlines. And so, basically, you're going to see those the first week of every month in your team pages, and it gives you 60% off of our line. 60% off is that page that you'll see. So you do have to order by the case. Everything comes in prepackaged case packs. So we ship them direct from our warehouse in our case packs. So what is a case? It's really not daunting, you guys. 4 to 8 diffusers per case pack. So it's not very much at all. So for example, this right here comes in a case pack of 4 for $25 each. So the case pack is just $100 right now. But you do have to order by the case. You normally have to order in multiple cases, but because you are with Melissa and the Millers, you guys get special treatment. Here's that sheet that I was talking about. You may have seen this already in your groups. The way that this works is every month this top line will change. The rest are static prices, but every month this is new. This Infinity is a sensational deal, you guys. Just so you know, we never really promo anything unless it's at least a year and a half, 2 years old. This is only 6 months old. It's been a sensational hit. Long story short why I got that approved, but I got it approved and it won't be back on special for at least another year. So this is one of my favorites because this one here, again, I'm always about the math, upping your OV in very passive, easy ways. So the Infinity runs for up to 24 hours. It has a 400 milliliter tank and it takes 20 to 28 drops of oil. So, you know, that's a lot of oil. So again, you just multiply that amount over a month, that's 3 bottles. Then I also wanted to just make the announcement here, guys, that these Amber Obsidian, the introductory pricing is coming to a close. This by a mile is our most popular unit when it comes to the hostess gift categories. So if that's been of interest to you, get yours now. The Amber is already almost out of stock. The Obsidian will definitely follow. At this point, I would like to open it up for questions. Anyone have a question?
Yeah, Annabelle, this is Margie. I had a question. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. And this may be just, I apologize if it's a stupid question, but what I was also thinking, would you ever do anything in a volume, you know, like a group discount? And I'm thinking along the lines like you got an LRP, maybe you got 10 people that are not really doing anything from an LRP standpoint. And you say, well, you know, maybe I'll just offer this special to them. And maybe it's a group of people, like, you know, some family members or something, and say, because I've got a lot of family in my team, and I'm just saying, you know, if 8 of you guys order or something, have you ever done any kind of group volume kind of thing?
I have not specifically, but I love the creativity and where you're thinking. You know, for things like that, you know, push emails all the way. Do you know what I mean by push email, Margie?
No, that's what I'm saying. As you were saying this, because the reason why is I was having a conversation with 3 or 4 of my relatives, and you know, they were saying, yeah, I'd be interested in ordering some or you know, whatever, because they need 3 or 4, and I don't want to become the Avon lady, but I was thinking that if I could creatively, and I didn't know if you had a flyer or anything, that if I could creatively say, hey, you guys express some interest, you know, maybe I could offer us, I don't know if it'd be worth it or not, but it would just be more of a volume.
I mean, I think it's always to try things, you know. Are you talking about like offering, like, okay, so you talked about a family. So are you talking about splitting explain to me what you're talking about here. Are you splitting like a membership in this case? I don't suggest that.
Okay, so I have several family members that are what I would consider, they love the oils, they're inconsistent, and I would love to increase their volume. Okay, they already have some diffusers, but like one of them, I was sitting there and she said, oh, I'd take 3 of them right then.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And then I'd say, well, okay, if you'll take 3, I'll give you 1 on, you know what I'm saying? Or something along those lines, and where she could maybe share it with, you know, just trying to I don't know. I'm just trying to stretch out here a little bit because I do have quite a few that would say that order, and I don't want to become the Avon lady. That's not what I want.
Right. Okay. So what I would say to that is that, in that case, you're saying, I'll take this person that you have in mind says, I'll take 3 of them right now and distribute it out to others. Is that basically what you're saying?
Yeah.
Is that like,
Or she said she wants 3. She wants 3, and I can just maybe match the, and do the, make sure I get the case price. But there may be some people that she has around that would want to share, that she would want to share those with.
so here's my answer to that. You want to, just like you don't want to give away oils at wholesale, right?
Right.
It's kind of the same thing with the diffusers, so you want to, so here's what I would say. If they're a builder and they're a clear builder in your team, then go ahead and give it to them at cost. It makes more business sense for you to have them using tools, in quantities that they can afford or test out. That's a good business move, So as far as a family member that just wants 3, that's totally up to you. If you put it too much out, it's work, and that's your own decision. So what some people do, what I've seen, and again, this is up to you. If they're a retail customer and they're just buying oils off of your website link or just hand-to-hand retail, I don't give them any breaks because you want them to enroll with a wholesale account, obviously,
Sure.
right? So in those instances, I don't give any breaks.
Okay.
If it's a good share that's moving in the direction of building, I will definitely give them a deal on something like that if they're trying to share because they're trying to, build out. But that's up to you. That's up to you and how much work you want to do. But, diffusers, the more diffusers in your downline, the better for you. It's always better for you because it's always going to actually boost up OB. Does that help you?
Yeah. I also have one follow-up question is that, you gave us some very specific guidance in, how to pick your diffuser, like, for example, the space and how many oils to put and all that kind of stuff. Is there a flyer out there for that?
As far as square footage, which ones have this?
Yeah, and how many drops?
No, there's not. Here's the general rule of thumb. For every 100 milliliters of water in your reservoir, you want about 5 drops of oil, 5 to 7 drops.
Okay.
So you've got, the Infinity Frill, which has 400 milliliters. That would be a minimum of 20, right? Or 5 to 7 times 4 is 28. So that's where that 20 to 28 drops of oil comes in. The Spa Vapor Pro has 250. So, that obviously becomes 10 to 14 drops. So that's just the rule. So you always measure it against the milliliters of water, generally speaking. So that's the general rule of thumb.
Okay, but you don't have a flyer or anything for that.
No, I don't have a flyer
Okay.
that has that on there. No.
Okay.
I mean, here's the thing, though. All of our tabletop units are designed to cover up to 1,000 square feet. So, some of them will definitely do more. Like the Infinity pumps out a ton of mist. It's got a high calibrated fan, so it's going to go at least 1,000, probably more.
Okay.
The Genesis diffuser, it's a tabletop diffuser, but the mist is thinner. So, that's going to, in the best conditions, just hit your 1,000 square feet. So,
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay.
The way to look, though, I get that square footage coverage all the time. The way to look, though, is it's visual. Like if there's a ton of mist coming out, it's going to cover more area. It's floating molecules in the air, and they're going to go further based on a variety of things: ceiling height, drafts. If there's a fan in the room, a variety of different things. But what makes the diffuser on its own have a bigger capability is simply the calibration of that band speed and the motor combined with the thickness of your mist. Any other questions?
Annabelle, this is Marilyn.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
Marilyn, I can.
You got me? So, we'll cut it. This is, am I doing this right? You hear me?
Marilyn, go ahead. There's just a really bad delay.
Oh, there's a delay? Okay. So the Infinity, it pumps out a lot or a little over a long time.
It pumps out a lot of mist. It's a very, very impressive powerhouse. Both the Infinity and the Eternity are designed to be impressive output diffuser. So in our lineup, I think they probably have the Infinity more than the Eternity even probably has a better history. So
Yeah, I have a
I would say probably the big.
Sounds like it's starting on a pretty good instrument. You think it's my?
Pardon me?
I didn't understand your follow-up on your that. It sounds like you're like a musical instrument. It sounds like you're like a musical instrument.
Oh,
Your
okay.
voice.
Well, yeah, I would say that the Infinity has one of the largest outputs in our lineup for square footage coverage and length of runtime.
Okay. And so those come as a, you get the $80 off that. That's a 16 unit case. 16 unit case.
Correct. So that makes the unit cost just $25 a piece. So the case
$25.
becomes $400
$25.
instead of
And that is
$480.
only,
And then-
that is plus the discount, correct?
yes. So that special will come to a close.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Abstinian, those are just substitutions?
Those are going up in price as of July 1st. That's correct.
As of July 1st? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and those each have 4. Each color of those, the black and the each have 4.
Correct. So they're either for black or either for amber.
Okay. So when I want to order, do I just message you? Is that what you want me to do?
You're going to give me a call. It's my numbers right here, 310-801-9117. And then order forms are also accessible in your team pages in the file section. So you can also email me the form. It's your choice. But usually I really do like to get to know where you guys, I prefer to do your first couple orders live together so that I know that you're making home run decisions for what you're doing with your business at this time.
So we've done that together.
Yes.
So, but I still, yeah. If you think it's best to call you and do it by the phone, I'll do it.
Well, I'm really kind of generally answering for the mass group here, but if you feel confident where you are and what you're doing, then as long as you're using the same information, then you don't need to fill out the entire form, so to speak. You just tell what you need. But on first time orders for the couple goes, I really do like to get to know you guys and understand how many classes you're doing, or if it's under that, what your demographic is, and all sorts of things like that to make sure you're making the most successful choices for your business.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
My computer calculates here.
I guess I want,
Interested?
I don't have a good handle how to access all the graphics.
So there's in the file section of pages, you can
Can anybody understanding?
yes, I can understand, Marilyn.
You can. I'm just not understanding you clearly.
There's just a lot of back feed, Annabelle. Can't hear you.
Is there
I don't know. I just.
We may need to end the call.
I might be able to talk to you individually about.
What is your question, Marilyn?
My question is that he has talked, he was talking about the graphics in the past, but I haven't done them consistently.
Right.
So I need a refresher on how to access all those beautiful.
Well, we have a lot of them on the file section of our brief page.
Okay.
She'll have some for her somewhere. But that is one of my questions for Annabelle, is because we don't have a lot of the ones that she was sharing today. So we don't have access to those LRP ones or the ones that.
Yeah, like that would be a good one for me. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
so I'm going to put in a request with Annabelle to get some of those so that we can upload them to our Facebook pages for you guys.
Okay. That would be terrific if they were on your file section. That would
Yeah.
be fun.
But a lot of the ones just for the diffusers, all of those ones are on there. We just don't have those ones that say host a class with me or for the LRP incentives. Michelle, do you have those ones in your group?
I have a few. I don't think I have all of them.
Do you have the ones for host a class or LRP?
I'll have to double check. Annabelle's still sharing her screen, so I can't.
So I
can't
have.
look.
Oh, I just checked on my phone.
Yeah, well, you're a smarty
I
pants.
I don't know if you guys can't hear me. It seems like I might really be on delay, but I have a Dropbox that I'm preparing for you guys all to access so that you don't have to do updates.
Shoot, we lost you, Annabelle, but we heard something about Dropbox. Can you access us to that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining everybody today. And we will post, how about go to the event, if you post the event page and post any questions you have for us. And we will post the winners there as well. Right, Michelle? Is that good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But
Perfect.
thank you so much, Annabelle. We appreciate your time. And this was a great class. It was really, really good. Lots of good ideas.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to hearing from you soon. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you.